Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is G, and welcome back to my channel. Now, for those of you following my journey through navigating life in general, turn down my classic FM. I listen to classic FM when I need to just. I'm busy packing for a trip, and as the chief executive PA of my household, I am doing all the packing by myself for me and the kids. And I hate packing, but it has to be done. And I don't mind doing it last minute. I don't mind doing it last minute because then there's no time to faff around, if that makes sense. So I'm just leaving the shops now because I've got all the final bits that I need. I don't know how I filmed this thing the other day. Oh, I know. The way I filmed it the other day was I was able to have the phone a bit higher or something, but where I'm parked, the best view for me to see myself and record something decent is from this angle. So I can't seem to, let me see if I can move it. Can I? I'm trying to get this out of the way, but it's okay. I know, the way I filmed it the other day, I just put the phone on the dashboard. This was before I got my phone holder. So excuse this bollard in the way. I'm just not very prepared. Anyway, so my eyes started twitching again today. No, last night. But that was only because I was trying to pack. My husband popped out to the shops to do something, which I thought wasn't that urgent for that time, and but I didn't realize at the time. So the kids were fighting and they kept coming up to report themselves to me, and I'm trying to pack, and my daughter wants to help me, but she's also cranky because she needs to sleep and she didn't have a nap at nursery, and I just started, my eyes started going. So it started twitching yesterday, but it was only to do with packing because I hate packing. I found out a few years ago that you can actually book people to come and pack for you and unpack for you. And I think they even do your laundry when you come back. But they charge like £5,000 or something, dollars. I don't know. So yeah, if anybody is looking for a new business opportunity, can you please start a packing and unpacking business and make it available to all and across all budgets, please? Thank you in advance. And I'm more than happy to test it out for you. In fact, I will help you out with the business plan. Also, I've messed up my shoulder because my daughter, when she's having bad sleep, she wants me to hold her like this. So she's here like this. And then I think she was here, but then I needed to turn. I don't know what I did, but I've messed up my shoulder and I can't lift it up like this. That was this one clicking just then. But it's too late for me to get an emergency appointment with Tender Leaf Clinic, who literally just put me back together last week. Or was it the week before? I can't remember. So yeah, I can't really lift it beyond this. I can, but it's so sore that I'm gonna need painkillers. So what I'm going to do is I have an acupressure mat at home, so I'm going to lie on it when I finish packing. So that'll be a nice reward for myself, and it has been working. I just haven't used it for a while. Also, if I'd been working out, we wouldn't have this problem. Okay, so there's that. And when we get on holiday, maybe I'll treat myself to some sort of massage that can do something, because it's sore to touch, which it literally feels like someone's yanked my arm out of the socket. So yeah, I'm packing. I didn't record yesterday because it was one of those days where I was super reflective and I just took time out, and I decided very last minute. So I had an appointment in the afternoon and I was gonna film the episode of the vlogcast when I finished, but I ended up just speaking to my friend, just catching up. And I was by a lake and it was really lovely, but also it was windy, so I couldn't film there. And then before I realized, I was like, oh, I'm not sure if my husband's got our daughter from nursery, so I had to go get her. And by the time I got there, he had got her. And then I went home because I was hungry, yada, yada, yada. I couldn't film. But the other thing that happened was, two things happened yesterday that just kind of was a good way to explain life, like the circle of life. So one of our neighbors in where I live, she has quite an elderly mum that we normally see the care providers come to. The people, I don't know what they call them, carers, I guess, but there was one like every hour that would come to, like a different one every hour that would come to, like, I don't know, change her. I don't know what they do, but I know she was really old because the neighbor herself was already old. She's well in her late 60s, early 70s. I'd say late 60s at the youngest. So I can only imagine her mum was probably in her 80s. And this lady, I never met her mum, I never saw her, but throughout COVID there was always ambulance coming, and she survived. She pulled through because there's 3 old people I know of that live in our cul-de-sac, and one of them is so active. She goes out to walk, Indian lady. She goes out to walk every single day between 6 and 6:15. Her grandson will bring her Zimmer frame out and she goes for a walk. Some of those Zimmer frames they can sit in, and she goes for her walk. I think it takes about an hour or so. And I remember the first time I saw her doing it, I was like, do they have a tracker on her just in case, so that they can see that she's all right? Because she goes by herself. She's been doing that since before we moved here, because my other neighbor was telling me. And then there's another old lady that I've never seen, but I know she lives near her because, again, the ambulance came so many times during COVID for her as well. Anyway, the lady in question that I started talking about, the older neighbor lady, her mom passed away, and the only way we knew for sure was we noticed that we hadn't been seeing because where our kitchen faces, you can see people driving in to the cul-de-sac, even just to turn around to park. So you can always see when the nurses came, the carers came. And we hadn't seen them for a while. And then yesterday, my husband told me that he saw a funeral procession outside the house. I was like, oh, man. And then I saw her later on, and when they all came back for the wake, when they came back with the lovely limos and so it was quite somber. And also the lady's grandson, so the neighbor lady's grandson, i.e. the lady that passed away would have been his great grandma, they were there I think the day before to do, or 2 days before, to do the hedges and whatever. So normally it's the lady's son or son-in-law that comes to do the hedges like every month or so, but then they were doing extra. They were like, really pruning, and it was the boy, there was a younger man that was doing it. So I was like, okay, that's weird. I've never seen him before. And there were some other people I had not seen before. Anyway, saw the funeral procession yesterday, and they all went into the house, and I was saying to my husband, like, should we get, I might do that actually. I want to get like a card and just drop it through the letterbox, because we don't talk like that, but I've gone around there once to hand over one of the carers' passes that was on the road, and she, just from hello and the quick chat we had, she was a lovely lady. When people sound younger than they actually look. So I'm just gonna drop that there. So I need to remember to do it today. I'll do it after I leave here. And then the flip side of it was like the appointment I went for my waxing appointment, and my waxing lady, who's the only one I ever see, and I've seen her for years now, confirmed that she's pregnant. I was like, oh my god, you're pregnant. I saw it from her nose already. When I saw her through the window, I'm like, why is your nose so fat? And then, so when I don't like to ask women directly if they're pregnant. I wait for them to tell me. And then I can't remember what she said. She said something, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, and then she showed me her belly. I was like, "I knew it. I didn't want to say anything." And it was just that juxtaposition of life and death. As you're burying somebody, new life is still being created, and life goes on. So I was sad for the neighbor lady, but then obviously I was happy for my waxing lady, and it was just that, and so now I have to find a new waxing person. Ugh. But also later on, when I got home in the evening, because it's our bin day today. What day is it yet? Thursday. The neighbor lady who's just lost her mum, who in my mind I'm just thinking, it doesn't matter how old you are, she's just lost her mum. Because my husband was like, oh, but she was really old, and she's probably glad that I said, you don't get it. She's just lost her mum. There's no other. She's just lost her mum. That's still a fact. It doesn't matter whether she was old or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I guess so. And also, she then had to put her bins out. So I was just like, oh, you've just buried your mum. You've just done the wake. You had guests and everything, and then you still have to put the bins out. Like, you still have to do, because it was just her and her mum that lived there. So it was just like, oh man. So yeah, that's what just got me thinking, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just take the day and just, I think I listened to a podcast while I was trying to pack, and with all the stress of packing, I realized how much stuff I still needed to buy. I was like, there's no way, I don't have the energy or the brain space to record anything that's gonna make any sense. But in terms of a quick update of what's going on, job wise, I'm still unemployed. I had quite a few calls yesterday that was really good. I also met up with a friend of mine, the big TV director lady. I met up with her. We chatted for like 3 hours at Starbucks. I don't even like Starbucks, but that's where she chose, so that's where we went. And so we chatted for like 3 hours, just sat outside. So I got a lovely tan. And so that was really good. It was just great to talk about a range of, a variety of topics and learn from each other. It was just amazing. So that was good. And yeah, so I got a few calls from some agents that went really well. But again, they always go really well. Today I had a catch up with my business mentor, and it was kind of like the follow-up to our long session, and he sent me like not a summary, but like a summary of what we did, like a PowerPoint slides. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is real, this is actually happening. And I think the only word I had was wow. And for him to then remind me that all the stuff that he's just made look pretty was stuff that I wrote down. And I was like, oh my god, yes I did. These were all the ideas in my head, and then he's put into, anyway. Once I finish that thing with him, like the process, I'm definitely going to shout him out. I'm definitely going to promote him. And it's just amazing. Like, anyone that's really, really serious to make a change, which I was, the universe will send people to help you. God will send people to help you. So yeah, that happened today, and I'm still, taking it all in. And I'm actually grateful that I do have this holiday as a break. And as I said before, the only book I'm taking with me, and one magazine, is Outwitting the Devil, that I need to read. Another thing, yesterday a friend of mine sent me she shared with me some of her, basically a testimony, like something she journaled a couple of years ago is now happening. And that was just amazing. Again, I do better when people share their experiences with me. And then, yeah, I listened to the couple that run Daily Audio Bible talking about the book of Job. We're not reading the book of Job yet, but they were talking about it, and oh my goodness, the parallels were ridiculous. But I'm going to go into detail of that another time. So what I'll leave you with today is, if ever you are feeling like the worst of the worst is happening to you, remember Job. Even if you're not a Christian, go and read the book of Job. That's all I'll say. And you realize how lucky you really are and count your blessings. So thank you very much for still tuning in and still following my journey. I may or may not post while on holiday. I don't know yet. I'll decide when I get there. And on that note, have a wonderful week ahead. I might be back tomorrow. I might be back next week, but I'm still on the 90-day challenge journey. I don't think anybody said you have to be every day, but when I do take breaks, it's for a reason, because I need to really go within and just be for a second. So I think it's the second time I've taken a break now, but I'm going to check if there's like a pattern, like do I take a break after a certain number of days, or... But anyway, whenever I need to just go within and just kind of like reflect, then I don't record anything. But thank you all for following me so far, and I'll see you soon. Peace and love. Namaste.